Hi there, this is 2 Tickets 4. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Sarah.
And this is our second video review. We did our first one a couple of months ago about the Michael Fassbender movie Shame, and we got some positive reactions to it. So much so that even though we've been busy the last couple of months and haven't been able to do another one, we've been getting a lot of requests for one. So now we have the time again, and this time we decided to do one on the on-demand movie Bachelorette. It stars Kirsten Dunst, Lizzy Caplan, Isla and Rebel Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
It's been available on demand and on iTunes for a little bit now, and will be coming out to theaters soon. But this is one where we decided we didn't want to go to the theater necessarily, and we didn't really want to watch anything we own, so we just paid the $8 or $7 that it cost and checked it out.
Yeah, and this is a great thing to do because we're seeing it before it hits theaters, so before most people will see it. So we'll talk a little bit about how we liked the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It was very much like Bridesmaids meets The Hangover.
Mm-hmm.
It had the same types of hijinks that happen in those movies, and a lot of the same humor. Very rough humor, very kind of vulgar. It has its little bit of gross out humor as well. So, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was hilarious. There were times when I just really had us both belly laughing on this one. So what do you think?
I totally agree. It's literally as if Bridesmaids and The Hangover, had a baby. It's sort of a dark comedy, whereas those films are a little bit more lighthearted at times. This one's a little bit darker because the main characters, for the most part, aren't necessarily likable people.
Right.
Kirsten Dunst plays the main character, and her name is Regan. She's sort of the leader of this old group of friends, and Rebel Wilson plays Becky, who's getting married. She's the first one of the group to be getting married.
Yep.
And Regan doesn't have a really good reaction to this.
No, not at all.
She's really kind of self-centered. And then Lizzy Caplan is sort of a slacker who lives out in Los Angeles.
Yeah, she's I would consider seeming to be the most lost of all of the girls when you first meet them. And then you've got Isla who is seems to be living kind of the party life in Manhattan, having a lot of fun, and
she's not very smart.
No, not very smart, but definitely the life of the party. She's one of those that loves everybody and tries to have the most fun.
I'd really put it like this. She's sort of the Alan character from The Hangover. Zach Galifianakis' character.
Yeah.
Where sort of the hayseed means well, not the sharpest tool in the shed.
No, not so much.
Has a lot of the best one-liners, though.
Yes.
She had me rolling on the couch.
Yes.
She was hilarious.
Yes, she definitely brought out her comedic chops for this one. And so it opens up where Becky's announcing that she's getting married. Fast forward 6 months, we're at the night before the wedding. And all the girls are in town now, and the bachelorette party has come and gone because it's not exactly what the girls had thought that the bachelorette party would be. So then we've got Regan, Jenna, and Katie decide to have their own little bachelorette party.
Yeah, things get a little wild.
Yes.
And needless to say, they bust out the bride's dress, and nothing good can come
from that. So then the story takes the turn, they're trying to repair this dress at 2 o'clock in the morning, the night before the wedding, in Manhattan. And that's where hilarity ensues. And you really start to learn more about these characters.
Yeah, and you really start to get to learn them. I mean, from the beginning, you kind of get an idea of who they are. And while these ladies all do a fantastic job, they all do a great job, comedically and dramatically, there's also a great set of actors playing the men in the movie.
Opposite of each of the women. Yes, definitely.
I would say each of the bridesmaids has a man to kind of almost a mirror image. Well, in some cases a mirror image, but in other times just somebody that they need. And that would be like James Marsden stars as,
the best man,
Yep.
opposite of Kirsten Dunst as Regan, and basically the exact same person as Regan,
Yeah.
but man.
Yeah, male version.
Yes.
And who else do we have? We've got Adam Scott from Parks and Recreation, who we really liked earlier this year in Friends with Kids.
Yes. Yeah.
He plays Jenna's ex-boyfriend, and you kind of learn what their history is because they were only high schoolers when they dated. And they have a nice little storyline there. And then Kyle Bornheimer plays kind of the groomsman who's got a crush on Katie and kind of wants to hook up with her.
Has had a crush on Katie. He tutored her in high school in French, and she didn't even remember him, but still has such a big crush on her. And
I really like him. I'd love to see him in everything because he was really funny in She's Out of My League, a movie we really like. And then I also really enjoyed him on the short-lived TV sitcom Worst Week that was on Fox. I don't even think it lasted the whole season, but I caught it all on Netflix. And he's a pretty funny guy, so I was glad to see him in this. And he plays the earnest, sincere, good guy of all, kind of the guys involved.
Yeah.
So all the acting is done well, but I'll say my one complaint with the film is that once these guys kind of come into the picture, the film splits up the three main girls, and they kind of each go off their own way with their guy. And how would you put it? Do they kind of grow up?
Kind of. Their outer shell kind of gets broken down, and you start to see them a little more on the raw side of things, and I appreciated that. I didn't mind the fact that when they were broken up, it changed the dynamic. It went from kind of this really raunchy comedy to more of a kind of soul-searching type of female empowerment film.
And it's well done.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, but the humor starts to kind of fade out of it. It's still funny, but it's not as biting as it was early on when you first meet these girls, and they're really acting like people you would not want to ever know. No. But I did like it. It is heartwarming at times. And again, all the players involved, they're all very funny. They've all got great timing. The script is fantastic. And that's another thing, is that this is a film adaptation of a stage play by Leslie Headland. And you said you saw the actresses on a morning talk show.
Yep, I saw the three lead actresses on Good Morning America, and they were talking about how it was a nice change of pace to have a female director that had such a love for the script, because she's not only directing the movie, but she wrote the play. And you definitely get that sense of, this is a chick flick, but it's a twist on the chick flick, and it definitely has like a very female empowerment to it.
And it's definitely a passion project.
Very much a passion project. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. The one complaint that I would say is that it ran a little long for me. A lot happens. There's no time when it's dragging. Yeah.
It's only about an hour 47, but so much happens that it does feel like. I think at one point we paused it, and we were only 45 minutes in, and it's like, oh my God, we're not that far into the film.
Yeah, so it seems a lot longer because so much happens. And maybe that's kind of, there wasn't much downtime, and but all in all, I thoroughly enjoyed this one. Definitely one that I want to own. I want to have in our collection.
All right.
Personally, I enjoyed this one more than Bridesmaids, which is very, not going with the norm.
You know what? The more I kind of think about it, I think I might agree with you on that. Bridesmaids was hilarious.
Yes.
But it had been talked up so much.
Yes.
Whereas this, it kind of flown under the radar unless you've been reading, Entertainment Weekly and you're hearing about it or along those ways. But it's just a little more earnest, I think. And
yeah, I didn't feel like I was watching an SNL sketch. And I think that's kind of what I felt with Bridesmaids. But Bachelorette definitely has... Whereas that's where I think Bachelorette veers more toward like The Hangover.
Yeah.
So, but I definitely thoroughly enjoyed it. One that we'll own. And what do you think as far as rating goes?
Yeah, out of our 5 clapboards rating scale, I would give it a 4.
I would too.
All right, so there you have it. 4 stars, or 4 clapboards, I should say, for Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Again, you can watch it right now, buying it on demand through whoever your cable provider is, or you can even get it on iTunes, or just wait a couple weeks until it comes to theaters.
But definitely check it out.